Okay, Orlah, second to last Masechta in Zroyim. So Orlah, as we know, so since it's starting a Masechta, that means it's Perek Aleph, Mishnah Aleph, in case anybody wasn't aware of that. Yeah, so Orlah is about that the first 3 years of fruits, you can't use them. They're also bana. Right? So the Mishnah starts off, Mishnah Aleph, if you plant the trees, but you didn't plant them for fruits, you planted them because you needed the wood for the fence, meaning either you're using the trees as a fence or you're going to chop down the trees. I think what it means are you're going to chop. It sounds like really you're using like how do you call those things? Bushes, right? So you planted them as bushes. So even if it gives off fruit, that's not a problem, because it's only fruit trees that's a problem. So, or lakairos, or for beans, meaning you planted fruit trees, but you had no intention for the fruit. You had intention only for the wood. So it's patam and oral. Rabbi Yossi says afilu amar hapnimi l'maycha v'achitzin l'syog. Even if you say that the inside is for food and the outside is for a syog, meaning you're having I guess you're having a machlokes what you want the tree for. So you decide to mamish split it down the middle. I'm going to have half the tree for fruit and half the tree for Michael. So then pnimi chayev, the inner part of the tree is chayev, right? The chitzon potter, meaning the fruits that grow on the inside of the tree are potter, or chayev. I'm sorry, because you wanted them for the fruit, and the chitzon, which was planted for a branch, whatever, not for branch, for trees or for fences, then is potter. Okay, so that's the first Mishnah. That the din of Orlah is only if it's meant to be growing fruits, not if it's meant for wood. That's Mishnah Aleph. Mishnah Beis. Eis shabo avisenu la'aretz, when our forefathers came into Eretz Yisrael, matzu natua, and they found already planted trees. So now they came into Eretz Yisrael, and now you have to start keeping the what? Mitzvahs, correct. So we keep Orlah outside of Eretz Yisrael also, but that's a D'Rabbanan. But with the Raisa, so yeah. So anyway, so it's potter. So meaning you're potter from Orlah because it was planted by Goyim. Meaning the trees that they found there that were a year old or 2 years old. So then they're potter. Not to. But if they planted Afal Pishaloi Kovshu, meaning when Klal Yisrael was already, they first came into Eretz Yisrael and they didn't yet conquer it. So, and then they planted. So then it's chayiv, because it was planted once they got in there and started taking control of the land. Hanetei l'rabim chayiv. If somebody plants a tree in his property, but he's going to donate that tree to the public, all right? So then it's chayiv. Rabbi Yehuda Poiter. Rabbi Yehuda says it's potter. Right? Meaning, and he's netatem because he's coming off from the lashon of netatem is mashim for the rabbim. Right? So, because it's yiu lachem arelim. The pasuk says yiu lachem arelim unetatem. So, lachem and arelim, that's a lashon rabbim. And then unetatem is also lashon rabbim. So, ein riboy achariboy ela lamayit, it comes to exclude something. So that's what Rabbi Yehuda says it's potter. Hanateya b'reshus harabim. If somebody plants a tree in Rishus Harabim, and a guy that plants a tree, let's say a guy steals land and planted a tree on it, if somebody plants it on a ship, or if a tree went out on its own, then chayev ba'orla, then it is chayev in Orlah. That's Mishnah Beis. Mishnah Gimel, Elon Shenekar Vasela Imoy. If you have a tree, So now, this is probably the most common Orlah Shaila that actually comes up. You get a tree in a Home Depot or Lowe's or Costco, a fruit tree, and it has the it's in the, what do you call it? Cluster, not a cluster. It comes with a bulb, I think. It comes with a bulb, right? So the question is, now you replant it. Does that start the Orlah count again or not? I mean, they planted a tree for a few years, then they uprooted it, they sell it to you, and now you're going to replant it. So does that start the Orlah clock again? So Ilan Shenekav Asela Ima. If you have a tree that was uprooted together with the rocks, Shtafei Nahar Vasela Ima, or the river came and what do you call it? Swept away the tree, and it swept it away with this bulb. So if the tree could live with this bulb without putting it into the ground, then it's not Orlah, because it's not a new Orlah clock, because it's going back it never stopped its growth potential. But if not, meaning it could not have lived that way, then now you replanted it, so now it's considered like a new life. Then it's chayiv. Right? So you can say any sort of musar v'ertluch for that. Right? You hold on to your roots, and you don't sever the roots, and then it's considered the same life, and whatever. Yeah, you can see I'm Sheva Brachas out. Nekar hasela mitzidoy. If the rock became uprooted on the side, meaning the tree wasn't uprooted, but the part of the roots of the tree, I guess the roots, or the, what do you call it? I don't know what to call it, the bulb, right? Meaning it got separated.
He called the ball.
A ball?
I think the ball of the tree, but because that's the way they dig it up, I think.
Reb Henoch, you're always bringing in sports. Thing. You're always bringing in sports. I guess it would be the ball. Yeah, whatever it is. But here, the ball or the bulb or whatever it is got separated from the tree, meaning that was the original source of nourishment. Now it fell off the tree, right? So now the tree is getting its nourishment from the ground, not from the original source from the ground. So therefore, is that considered a new planting or not? So nekar selamitida oishen is oishezizatu. I don't say that one 10 times fast. Oishezizatu hamachrisha, or the plow made it shake. Nizdazeh means to shake. Oishezizu, or the person shook the tree. And it made it like dirt, meaning he basically loosened the bulb or this ball from the bottom of the tree. So the same rule. If it's able to live, it's potter. Im lav chayiv, and if not, then it is chayiv. Just one more very quick Mishnah Dala, because we took a few days off of Mishnayos. Elon shenekav and shtar by shirish. If a tree got uprooted, and a root is left on, potter, it's potter. How much is a root? Right? Meaning if the tree basically got uprooted and one of the original roots was there, so then it's potter. And how much is this root? It's like a needle of a stretched needle, meaning I don't know how big that is exactly, but it's it seems like a thin string. Whatever, as long as the root is that thick, that's enough to make it be considered like it's the original, tree, and you would not start the Orlah count again.
Yeah, I don't know if you could count this for this Mishnah, but I heard on the radio this morning driving back from Passaic, they were talking about the astronauts. And the astronauts, they grew 1 inch based on these were adult people. They grew in 1 inch based on all the different things that were going on in the capsule. And it takes a few months and they come back to their regular size. So they have back problems and different things because the body's stretched and then it rolls back to the normal. Yeah. It was amazing. My wife, did you just hear this? What I heard was like, yeah, it was an amazing thing. So So when does like you want to say when the growth starts or the growth changes at place?
Interesting. I don't what was that? Where did you see that?
I heard on the radio this morning in 770 science thing.
They have there's actually they discovered this years ago because of the lack of at that time, I guess 40 years ago. So they said the lack of gravity had a negative effect on the backbone. It's kind of interesting. I wouldn't really want to be up there. Via Zoom is okay, but yeah.
Okay, let's see. Musar a little bit. Kuftes. Shar Gimel Kuftes. Kuftes. V'yesh b'hem asher biru asam Rabbi Sena Zechon lerocha b'Gemara b'Midrashim. There are some isurim that the Gemara explains to us and Midrashim. V'rubam yesh limad asam in apsukim, and the majority of them you learn them from the psukim. K'gon hama'ana almona v'yasam. Somebody who causes suffering to a widow or an orphan. How's that for scary? So then you're chayev misa min hashamayim. Right?
Kuftes.
Kuftes.
I mean,
Shargim or kuftes, yeah.
That's all you. What's chayev misa b'dei shamayim?
It start. That's how it starts.
Yeah.
What does it say after that?
The Mishnah Miktsasam, Kamoy Ha'echo Asatevel, Vahu Adonin Shalom.
That's you have that as kuftes. I have that as kufches.
Okay.
So somebody added one in there somewhere.
Well, that also because I don't have a kufches. It goes from kuf zayin to kuftes.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there's a censor in the Shari Tshuva also.
I don't know. So what do you have for kuf yud?
Yesh behem asher.
Oh, so that's what I'm up to. Okay, so do kuf yud.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So very interesting. Yesh behem asher biru asam v'senu zechron l'vracha b'gemara v'midrashim. V'rubam yesh ilmad asam in psukim k'gon ha'ma'ana almona v'yasam. Right. So if you're ma'ana and almona or a yasam, right. So there's a chi of misa. Pretty scary, considering that an almana is about to deliver me a hamburger. Yeah. So better make sure she's happy to deliver that hamburger, parents. Yeah. Shenemar, kol almana v'yosem lo sa'anun. Any almana and a yosem, you should not cause them pain. Im ane ta'ana oisai, because if you do, ki im tzoi gitzak elai shemaya eshma tzakosai, if they call out to me, I'm going to listen to their cry. Orlah P, and my anger is going to go at them. I'm going to kill them with the sword. So even though it's no chi of misa for causing tsar to a almon or a yasam, but from the drasha of the psukim, you come out that there will be. Whether they actually cry out or they don't cry out, it's the same din, right? Right? Whether he does cry out or whether he's quiet, but meaning don't think like, oh, I upset a Yasam and Almana and they didn't cry out, so therefore I'm fine. No. You have a problem with it regardless. Right? It's just if they cry out, then the punishment's going to come faster. Right? So that's the way he's learning. That's the way he's understanding the pshat. Meaning, don't think that just because they don't cry out, they're okay with it. They're not okay with it. Right? Meaning Hashem's not okay with it. Just if they don't cry out, so then the the delay in the punishment will or the punishment will be a little bit delayed.